Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Wednesday the 27th of December 2023 and we hope you guys are really enjoying your Christmas. We hope you're enjoying the channel. Believe it or not, 2024 is literally knocking at that door. It's a few days away now and yeah, what can we say? We've been really busy. So in this video Ben is going to be changing the rear offside wheel bearing of the Freelander 2. The Freelander has done nearly 200,000 miles. It's 12 years old. It's the first wheel bearing that Ben has had to do on this car since he's owned the car. So yeah, definitely a job that is worthy of doing if you can do it yourself. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like, drop us a comment, subscribe, and we will see you again very soon in another video where we will be meeting up with some of the members of the Freelander 2 off-road community. See you again. Cheerio! So you join us again outside with the Freelander 2 and it's Boxing Day, Boxing Day, Mr. French there, it's a Boxing Day special. So what are we doing on the Freelander 2 today? So you would have seen in a previous video Ben changing the drive shaft on the Freelander 2, and the next thing that Ben is going to be changing is the wheel bearing on this side. This is the rear offside of the Freelander. It has like a small bit of play, doesn't it? Yeah. Bit of play in the bearing, which is causing a slight sort of drone, ever so slight drone coming from this bearing side. So today's video is all about changing the bearing on the Freelander and see whether or not that cures the issue, which it probably will do, won't it? Because that's what's going on. So I think you can you actually demonstrate the noise if you turn the disc there, or not at the moment? Okay. Once the disc and the caliper's off, then we get to the hub. You can turn the hub. You can hear it then. Okay. But you won't hear it now. So obviously we've seen in the time lapse Ben taking the wheel off. So if you've got to that point, you're now at this stage. So yeah, let's carry on. So next bit of the challenge then. Next bit is the caliper to take off. So you've got two bolts behind there, 15mm bolts to remove. 15mm bolts, two of those, okay. Yeah, and then we've got to take this off here. Oh, that large one there that you just got your finger on. Yeah, yeah. There's another one this side, which we did before. Oh yeah. This arm. Yeah. And then we've got to remove this one, which is underneath. Underneath. Okay. Let's see how we get on. We've got to take. Got to take the knuckle off out of the strut. So there's a. Oh, it's this side. There's a bolt this side. A large bolt there, I'd imagine. To undo. Yeah. So I think it's 15 again, if I remember. Yeah, 15 again. And we've probably got to take this out to make room to get to that bolt. It's the anti-roll bar link. Oh, the anti-roll bar link, just to get that out of the way. Yeah. Okay. Obviously take the disc off, take the screw out, and I've already undone the hub nut because that'll have to come off again for the drive shaft to go back out. Okay. And then it'll be press it out time. Yeah, with the new press that Santa Claus brought us on Christmas Day. So, so let's start off with that caliper then. Wow, so that's all that holds the caliper then to the disc.
What I've undone is the caliper carrier, so this
that thing right there.
U-shaped thing here, W-shaped thing, and the caliper, which is this bit, bolts onto that with these. Right. Which should make it slide in and out very soon a bit. See how it moves? Like,
yeah, it does move, doesn't it?
It should slide on those pins in there. So that all comes off as one unit now. Right, now we don't want this dangling on this pipe. So we're going to take those out.
Brake hose there.
Yeah. Take those out of there to give us more room.
Yeah.
And just place it up somewhere that's not going to be in the way.
Oh yeah, because you've just sort of balanced it on
just so it's
one of the arms there.
Just so it's not pulling on that, and because you can rip it.
Okay.
And it gets out of the way for all of this then, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's the caliper removed.
Yeah.
So after the caliper carrier has been removed, caliper carrier has been removed, Ben's going to be now removing the disc, aren't you? You're going to be moving the disc.
Yeah. So you got the little screw in there, which is a T50 Torx bit.
T50 Torx.
In order to get that off.
Yeah.
In there. And then we've got to take this little grommet out.
Oh yeah.
Turn the disc so you see a little adjuster.
Yeah.
Back the shoes off that are inside, and the disc should slide off.
Right.
Or so is the theory.
So is the theory. Yeah.
It should work.
And you've taken the handbrake off, haven't you?
Yeah, you need the handbrake off.
You need the handbrake off.
Because this could be over here, or there, or wherever, so you've got to turn it. So, from memory, I think the adjuster is around about here somewhere.
Yeah.
So you just get that out with a little screwdriver.
Oh yeah, it's like a little rubber grommet, isn't it?
Yeah. The other one, on the other side, it's missing. I need to get another one.
Oh.
At least this side's got it. There we go.
Ah, yeah.
You're not going to see us on camera, but we need a little... This is a bit overkill, but this will...
Oh, like a torch you need to shine in there.
See in there.
Yeah.
So you can see when you found the adjuster.
Oh, the handbrake?
No, the adjuster.
Oh, the adjuster. So when you see it, I'll see if I can see it in the camera, but...
I can barely see it, so I'm not sure you will. See that? It's like a little toothy thing just there. I don't think you will see it, because the light's got to be in a certain place.
Oh, yeah, I don't think...
Once the disc off, you'll see it.
Yeah, it's like a little tooth, is it? You're seeing in that hole, which, I can't see that on camera, but... Yeah, like you say, once you take the disc off, then we'll be able to show you what you should see through this hole.
So, if I can... Right, so the disc is still movable, yeah?
Yeah.
So safe. So, if I was to move the adjuster,
what is it you're doing there? You're sort of clicking it round?
Yeah, so it's you move it round.
Yeah.
You've got two brake shoes that sit in there like that.
Yeah.
Right. And this adjuster sits here in between.
Yeah.
And as you adjust it, you're either slacking it off, which means the shoes are coming inwards like that, away from the disc, or if you do it the other way, they're being pushed out. Right. Which is what your handbrake cable does.
Yeah, yeah.
When you pull the handbrake, it pulls it up.
Pulls that.
Like against this bit.
Against the outer of the...
Yeah, so in order to get it off, you need to adjust it so you can slide it off to that by twisting it one way, it brings the shoes in. You see how it's much more movable.
Oh yeah.
So that means that you can slide it off.
There we go. So that bit we were looking through the hole then is...
Yeah, that's what I can see there.
That cog then?
Yeah.
So that's what you have to...
That's what you have to adjust. So
to adjust.
You put your little screwdriver through the hole.
The hole. And you're flicking it which way?
And what you're doing is you're doing this.
Ah, you're turning it.
Yeah.
Clockwise, is that? Yeah. Yeah, clockwise.
So that means these shoes are coming.
Yeah.
This spring are being pulled inwards because they're going to be following that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to do it the other way, which we will do later to adjust them, like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd have a bit more leverage on this side, obviously. That's then pushing these upwards.
Right. Okay.
And that's all your handbrake does.
Okay, so that's the disc remove then.
Yeah. Put that aside.
Put that aside. So handbrake shoes is Ben's next task. So yeah, he's removed the disc, and now we're on to the handbrake shoes to get those out of the way. So
yeah, they need to come off.
They need to come off. So it's you've got yourself a flathead screwdriver there, haven't you? Because you're going to have to take out some, looks like some springs or...
Yeah, so you got this spring here.
Yeah.
You got another spring back here that holds it. That both hold it in.
Oh yeah, I can just see that. Yeah.
That's what gives it the movement.
Yeah.
And you got this little chap here with the pin.
Yeah.
And you got exactly the same again underneath.
Underneath, they're like little clips, aren't they?
Yeah, they just they keep it bolted, if you like.
Bolted onto there,
attached
to the thing itself. Okay.
So that's what we'll do now. These are tricky.
Yeah, I remember you doing those a while back.
So you've got to somehow push it in like that.
And push.
So it comes away, can you see it's come away from the pin?
Yeah, there's a pin where you're...
And then at the same time you've got to sort of slide it this way.
Yeah, so away from the pin then, whilst.
Yeah. So
you might need a... Ah, yeah, that might... Oh, yeah.
Let me get something like that in there. Here we go.
Ah, yeah. God, they are tricky, aren't they?
Yeah. They're just fiddly.
I vaguely remember them when you've done the handbrake shoes. Can't remember if it was on this one or the silver Freelander we have.
Oh, it was this one. It
was this one. They
were muddy.
Absolute pain, aren't they? Hey, that's your first one.
So that's that one. The pin.
Yeah. What happens to the pin?
The pin is goes in behind here, if you see. So it
we'll work that one out.
Oh no, it's behind here. Let's see if I can grab it.
So if you can grab it with your tweezers.
There we go.
Ah, yeah. There's the offending pin.
So it goes through the back plate and into
the shoe.
There, and then obviously that slides in there to keep all in check.
Okay. These are the really tricky things, aren't they? This is the fiddly bits, I think. Yeah. And then you've got another one under there, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got one just under there. I should try and get these springs off.
The springs first. Yeah.
I should have done that first.
little cog then. Oh yeah, there we go. That's your like adjuster then.
Yeah, so all that, because obviously you got this tension of them both on there. When you turn that,
yeah, it pulls.
It's twisting that in and
out. Yeah.
Like that. Moves the shoes up.
The shoes up and down. Okay. You're moving the actual shoes now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Very carefully. It's trying to remember how you've done it before, isn't it? Oh yeah, I see he's trying to get that clip out. So after the handbrake shoes have been removed, very tricky there, aren't they? I think what you were struggling with was this little thing here. That's what you were struggling with, wasn't it?
Which is spring.
Yeah, which was connected to the handbrake cable. It will come off, I think, as you saw Ben there.
Probably isn't the right way of doing it.
It's
a way of doing it.
It's a way of doing it, but it's just so fiddly, really tricky. And you've done handbrake shoes before, but I seem to remember you struggling last time with them. So the next thing is to actually get the handbrake cable mechanism. It's out of the hub, isn't it? You brought a second-hand one, didn't you? To have a look at, and the way that it works. And the way that it works is it's almost like a metal sort of claw, isn't it? It like
there's a metal
thing.
There's a metal ring that goes around that inside there.
Yeah.
And it's got teeth that then go
outwards, which stop the cable
going backwards.
So
of course, you've got to try and push those down, and you can't get to them.
You can't get to them. So I wonder, can you push the handbrake cable forward?
I just tried that.
Oh, you just tried that? Oh.
Doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't move anywhere. It's stuck in there.
Doesn't go either way. The only thing you can do is pull that bit forward, but you don't want to do that.
No, you don't. That's not the bit you need, is it?
It's not the bit we're interested in.
Yeah, I can't see it on. I think I can see it. Ah, yeah. So on the camera, it's that furthest bit in there where Ben's pointing with the pliers. That's the bit that you've got to remove or actually try and work with to get the whole mechanism out. So the next thing we're going to do is undo one of the arms, isn't it?
You've got to undo all 3 arms.
All 3. One of 3 arms you're going to do first. So it's a 15 mil, did you say?
18 on
18 mil on that one. That's that's the big one there, isn't it? Is that one there?
This one's here.
Oh, that one there. Ah, right, okay.
There's 2 bolts. There's an 18 head on the bolt.
Yeah.
And 21 mil in the inside.
In the inside, okay. Very, very fiddly, all of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Twist it. So, here it is. Good. Okay. There's a mangled sort of metal. Right. So that's your drive shaft removed.
Yeah.
3 arms removed.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next job, we're going to try and detach. Ah yeah, so we're going to demonstrate the noise, won't we? So you can hear. So that noise shouldn't be there.
No, that's what you can hear in the car when driving.
Which is obviously amplified, isn't it, in the car?
Yeah.
So we'll do that again because there was a car going by. So just can definitely hear that. Yeah. So yeah, that's obviously that noise is being amplified in the car, which sounds a lot louder than out here, doesn't it? We last left the video at. We said we would try. Basically, you have to get out the handbrake cable from the hub, don't you?
Yeah, it goes in there.
And that is really, really tricky. So the reason why it's tricky is that there is a sort of like retaining clip, isn't there?
It's a collar.
Like a retaining collar, which sits around the end of the handbrake cable itself. So it sits...
Goes in there.
On that sort of rubber sort of... Is it rubber?
It's plastic.
Plastic sort of shoe there. And the way that it works is I think Ben's going to try and demonstrate. He's going to try and slot it back over over this handbrake cable. If he can. Back over?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we are. Now, in the Land Rover guide, in the manual, it shows 2 pictures. And the first picture shows that you need to try and get the teeth on this sort of clip pointing outwards.
Yeah, because they obviously goes into that hole.
Goes into the hole
via the back.
Yeah.
And then as this tooth is suggesting, they splay upwards.
They
so it does. So this then can't go. This then can't go that way.
Go
backwards.
Go backwards.
It stays where it needs to stay.
Yeah.
So for you to get this out, you need to push those teeth down.
Yeah.
Whilst pulling, which is very tricky and very hard. But I don't see why that was so tricky, because obviously the teeth are pointing away, so you should be able to get something in there to push away or to flatten them, and it should pop out, but it didn't work like that.
So whilst you were away, what did you do to get that out? You used...
It's not a very orthodox way, and I don't necessarily recommend it.
Yeah.
But it's called frustration.
Frustration, I think, was the...
It was long nose pliers.
Yeah.
And a really heavy hammer.
Yeah, very heavy hammer.
And I put it on the end and bashed it.
Yeah.
Several times.
Pushed it out.
And it knocked the collar off the plastic bit, and then it flew out. No problem. But it's mangled it a little bit, but we'll gloss over that.
Yeah, we can come back to that later, I think, when
the main thing is out.
It's out, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, it actually sits. There's a small lip on that white collar there, and it's this metal retaining ring sits behind that, and what you've done is like you said, you've used the hammer and those pliers just to push it through. Yeah, force it through the retaining clip. So okay. So I think we said what Ben was going to try and do is actually remove this, but we're not going to do that now, because we realised the tool that we've got doesn't do that. So Ben had actually reattached all 3 arms after he removed the drive shaft, put the arms back together in the hope that the tool that we had will remove this, but it doesn't do that. So, which is not a problem. That's not what we bought it for. But the reason why we bought the tool was for another job, and we wondered whether or not it could do this as well. But okay, so you're gonna have to remove.
Well, they're only done at tights.
Loosely, anyway. So you're gonna have to remove those 3 arms again.
Yeah, and then we've got to remove this nut for the anti-roll bar
link. Yeah.
Then we can get to the bolt that clamps the knuckle onto the strap. But before that, we're gonna have to remove the
the ABS
sensor, which is down,
tucked down in there.
We've got to get that torque screw out without snapping it.
Okay. Okie doke, brilliant job. And now you're removing the ABS sensor, aren't you? So
yeah,
just cleaning it up a little bit, just to.
Yeah, because there's so much gunk and rust around it.
Yeah.
You can't get the proper size bit in there until you've cleaned it up. So I'm using smaller bits and WD-40 and a little bit of compressed air. Just to clear it up a little bit.
Needs some leverage.
Gentle persuasion.
Yeah, gentle persuasion with a hammer. Hammer sorts everything.
Oh. Really was right.
He was right, wasn't he? Yeah, use a hammer and it will work. Okay. Voila. There's your ABS sensor. We'll clean that up, won't we, before we put that back in. Amazing how it works. It's just magnetic, is it?
Yeah. Picks up on the bearing. So the back of the bearing's got a magnetic strip on it. So as that goes round, that picks it up and it counts how many times it's going round. Because it's ABS, as soon as it detects it's not going round, but the car's still moving, it obviously knows that wheel's skidding. So it kicks in the ABS and pulsates that brake.
Yeah.
It's quite clever, really.
Right, your next job.
Next job is to undo that.
Oh, your anti-roll bar link.
That top nut.
Yeah.
For that.
Okay.
So that drops out of the way. Then we can get to the bolt that holds this to that.
Okay. size on there?
15
mil
socket.
You've not long replaced those, have you?
No, they're quite new.
They're quite newish. Brilliant. And the last bit, is it?
No, next we've got to get to that bolt that's behind there to undo this.
Yeah.
And then we can undo.
Undo all those again.
And then this should just drop off.
Drop off. Okay. Right. So now the removal of this larger nut which sits.
It's a bolt.
It's a bolt. So I don't know if I can get that on. Just there.
Yeah, it's just the one, and it pinches this closed against the strap.
Against there. So as you start to unwind it. Oh no, it won't come off because we've still got it on the arms, haven't we?
Yeah,
so
it won't come off even with the bolt out. It won't come straight off.
Okay.
There we go. That's
your
offending
that
bolt.
needs a bit of
attention.
Yeah, derusting, derusting and some grease. Okay, and then back to the 3 arms that we put back on when you got your drive shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put those back together after you got the drive shaft out. They're only held in loosely, so it won't take us very long. With a bit of luck, see if we can remove the hub, or the knuckle I should say. It's the knuckle, isn't it?
It's the knuckle now,
Knuckle, yeah.
There you go, that's sinking.
Yeah.
Nothing else attaches there now. What's that? See, it's going.
It's sliding, yeah, I can see it sliding, yeah. Bit more. Bit more. Yeah, a bit more.
No.
Bit more. Wait, just hear the difference in the noise there when you were hammering. Way, that is one Freelander 2 knuckle. So you join us back in the shed where Ben has arranged the Freelander 2 hub and knuckle, well, Freelander 2 knuckle, isn't it? Yeah. Into this 10-ton press that we will be using to get, well, basically press out the hub, which is the bit that the wheel connects to, which is just under there. See on there. So we need to remove that first, then we can remove the bearing within the actual knuckle, isn't it? Yeah. So that's our next job. So Ben has hitched it up in such a way we will press down or press on with the 10-ton press, slowly removing the knuckle.
The hub.
Yeah, the hub. You know what I meant. Oh yeah, I can actually see it moving here. Hey, that was really quick. Brilliant. So that's the hub removed. So very carefully remove it from the actual knuckle piece.
You will find some of the bearing race will break up, as it has done and stayed with the hub.
Oh yeah, it's actually stayed with it, so we need to get rid of that, don't we?
We need to find a way of getting that off.
Getting that off, which we will come to that in a memento. Yeah. So after you've removed the hub from the knuckle, so you can see there it's revealed the sort of the ball bearings, isn't it?
Yeah, the inside of the bearing.
Yeah, all the little balls in there and everything. So the next thing you've got to do is remove this back plate, which, as Ben was saying, it will damage it in the process of putting it through the press. There is just no other way, unfortunately, to remove that out of there. But of course, if there is, drop us a comment. We'd love to know how you do it without damaging this. We've seen it impossible, but if you know how to remove this back plate, then yeah, we'd love to hear from you. But this is how we've done it, putting it in the press, yeah, some of these are going to be quite tough, aren't they? Because I think it's where it's sat on the car, isn't it? Where it's positioned on the car, it is open to the elements. It's not like most parts on the car. It's outside. It's going to have all the mud and everything, and everything just seizes around this sort of area. So
they came off alright.
Not too bad, is it? So we should have, was there 4 of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, four little screws type things. That's our hub over there. And we will explain what this little kit is over here in a bit, because that's going to help us with the next bit of the removal. So 4 of those. So lifting the back plate off. It's a little bit mangled, but it's not too bad. It's all right. I think we'll just get a little tap hammer just to bend it back into shape. But the actual, oh yeah, we've got a spare one actually, which isn't in too bad condition. But this will need tidying up, so we'll get the Hoover, and as Ben is cleaning all this up, we can give it a good clean before we put it back on the car, can't we?
Yeah.
So before I get busy with the Hoover, I've just been informed, there is a circlip that you need to remove from the hub, is it?
From in here. So
from within the bearing.
the bearing's pressed in, and then it's got this little, I don't know if you can see that, there's this little circlip.
Oh yeah, crikey.
Starts there.
Yeah, I can just see.
And it sits in a little ridge within the knuckle.
Yeah.
And it stops the bearing sliding out.
Right.
So obviously, in order to press it out, we need to remove it, which is quite fiddly. Otherwise we won't be able to do it. Nearly.
So this basically holds the bearing in.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. As it comes.
So obviously, when you press the new one in, you've got to press it in far enough for it to.
Yeah.
For a new one of those to go back in.
Okay.
You get, in the box with the bearing, you get a new one of these, along with a new hub nut.
New hub nut as well.
So you can probably throw that away.
Marvellous. Right, so case of just clearing up the knuckle.
No, press it down now.
Presses it. Oh, we have to press it out. Ah, right. Okay, I'm getting a bit far ahead then. So we press out the.
Pressing it out.
Pressing it out, then we can give it a clean.
Yes, then we can tidy it up.
Then we can tidy it up. Okay, so now we have the knuckle of the Freelander 2 back into the press. So after removing the hub, Ben is using some tools, aren't you? Talk us through what those tools do.
They are. That tool set is a puller set to get bearings out. But I'm not using it for that. I've brought it to get these plates. It's a strong bits of metal in order to go onto the back of the bearing so it can be pushed out.
Okay. So we've got it all set up ready.
Yes.
So with a bit of luck, it should start pushing. Now I think you're going to wait for an initial bang, aren't you? Hey, there's our bang.
Right, now I'm going to adjust it so these plates move aside so it can go.
So it can force out the remaining bit of the bearing. Right. It's like a gong. It was like a gong going off.
Yeah, so it's at that point now, isn't it? Well,
Let's have a look. So see if we can sit up on the cam. Ah, yeah. So you want the basically.
So I want the plates to sit on the very edge.
On the very edge of where the knuckle is.
The bearing edge. The bearing edge is just there.
Yeah.
So I need the plates to sit a bit further out than they are so it can go.
So it just pops out onto the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. So now the remaining bit of the bearing.
Here it's getting a bit easier.
See how far it's come out now.
You see it?
Oh yes. So not far to go.
No.
Last bit of the bearing. Here we go. Oh yeah, there it comes.
You see it?
Yeah.
Reach the end of the...
Oh, the end of the actual...
No, it's touching on the...
Oh, on the end of the knuckle. Okay, so I have to go back at... I'm just putting an extension in there so we can just push out the rest.
Yeah.
Back in with the end of the jack thing you put in there, didn't you? Hey!
There we go.
There we go.
So that's the old bearing.
Blimey, it does go with a bang.
Yeah.
From the knuckle. So that's our old bearing. There we are.
That's the one.
So that is what we are aiming to replace. So now we're going to be putting in... Well, we're going to be tidying up the old knuckle, aren't we?
Yeah.
Tidy up the old knuckle, and then we will be ready to put in a new bearing.
Certainly will.
Brilliant. Right, we will see you in the next step. In what was left of the old bearing, which was on the actual hub itself. Now what Ben did was use a sort of an angle grinder to cut a very sort of shallow, or is that shallow?
Kind of.
Yeah, sort of cut into the actual ring that would have gone on the old bearing, which then allows it to then basically
with a bit more brute force.
Brute force, yeah, a lot of brute force. It shatters basically, allowing you to pull it off the hub. So, in an ideal world, yeah, it probably isn't recommended to do this. I probably would say, for the ease, buy a new hub is the answer there. I think. Yes. Buy a new hub if you don't want to end up going into many more hours of arduous use of tools. Yeah, definitely buy a new hub. A lot easier than basically trying to cut that in there. That is not ideal. I would not personally do that. But anyway, it's now done. The old bearing ring is now off of the hub, and we will now press in the new bearing. So with that, we've now got to place the new bearing into the hub, haven't we? So
yeah,
let's do that. This morning we've come back out. It's just gone 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're nearly there, aren't we? We're nearly there. So we are now pressing in, using the 10-ton press, the bearing now into the knuckle. It's early in the morning, right? Yeah, so the bearing into the knuckle. So Ben's got it set up here. So we're going to press the bearing in. Then our next job is to press in the hub. So here we go. So bearing into knuckle. So, keeping our fingers crossed. This goes in okay. Seems to be going in well. Very gradually going in. Yeah, it seems to be. It seems to be more on this side than the other side, though.
Is it?
Just double checking. I'll have to just realign the knuckle just to make sure we've got enough. leverage on one side.
There we go.
There we go, so it's starting to level itself out as it starts to, oh yeah, there we go. Whoa. And in the new bearing goes. Hooray. Brilliant. And it's worth just noting, making sure that you check on the other side of the knuckle where the bearing has reached to, because obviously there you've got the ABS sensor to think about. So we'll check that now and make sure there is enough room. So I think we're doing well so far. Let's have a quick look. Are we all good? See, ah yeah, there's the sensor.
It's just sensor hole go is.
Ah yeah, so yeah, just see it on the camera. Yeah, just see where the sensor comes into there. I think we're pretty much there, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
I reckon it could go a bit more, or would that be? I think it'd be okay.
I think that's about it.
It's about it. Yeah, it's in line with where the sensor's going to come in.
I mean, it didn't go any further when it was on there.
No.
It stopped. So
we're at a point now where the bearing is.
And you've got enough room in there for the groove.
Oh yes, the clip, the little circlip we have to pull in as well. So we will find that and put the circlip in. Now we have to put in the circlip on the front of the hub, or on the front of the bearing, I should say. So it's easier than putting it in than it is getting it out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit fiddly doing that now.
Yeah. That seems to have gone in really well, actually.
Go in, there you go.
Marvellous. Very good. So new bearing in with new clip, new circlip. Now is time for the hub. So yeah, so we're going to put the hub in, set it up on the press, and we will come back shortly. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. I can hear it going down. Oh yeah. Closing the gap. Keeping a very close eye on what's going on. Definitely, yeah, it's closing the gap. We all good so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And as you're using the press, it will of course make some noises and some bangs as it pushes it into place. So we're just going to double check, making sure we're all okay so far. Yeah. Hey. Well, that's cleared up the gap. The gap has disappeared.
There's a little bit more to go.
A bit more to go. Crikey, there is a bit more to go. A little bit more. Okay, it's double checking as you're going down, making sure that you're happy with the way that it's seated. Oh, that was a big bang. I think we're good. Yeah. So the hub should now be sat fully within the new bearing. So I think we'll just have a look before we press any more. Yeah, before we go any further, we'll just make sure that the new bearing inside the knuckle is okay, which it should be because we've supported it from the other side. So as you push down on the bearing, it then sits on over the hub. So let's have a look.
It's fine, though.
Yeah.
I mean, where it's got to go.
It has. So it's all seated in there properly.
And it's sat on the edge there properly. And
yeah.
it turns smoothly. So.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Didn't a lot of it before, is it? Oh, look at that.
So that's
one new bearing.
One new bearing. That's done.
Yeah. Hooray!
Just
well,
fit it back to the car now.
Yeah, so now Ben's got the arduous task of putting it all back together. So I'm not going to film him completely doing it. I will leave the camera on like a fast version or what have you, see him putting it all back together. But wow, we've done it. And what a piece of kit of this 10-ton press. It's certainly done the job that we wanted it to do. Pushed in a new bearing, hub's now in place, and it's ready to be put back on the car. So brilliant. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. We hope it was interesting, and there are some worthy things to be noting if you're going to do this job yourself. Yeah, as we said, we covered before, I mean, obviously, like with the back plate and everything like that, it's probably worth getting a new one if you want everything to be looking all new on there. If you're not so fussed like us, then we just reuse what we've got before. Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you again very soon in another video. Cheerio!